It's easy to overlook what's happening in Las Vegas. After all, the spotlight in the AFC West tends to stay fixed on Patrick Mahomes' brilliance or the latest hype around the Chargers' off-season headlines. But while the football world is distracted, something transformative is happening in the desert, a calculated overhaul that could flip the division on its head. The Las Vegas Raiders didn't just make a change, they made a statement. Hiring Pete Carroll wasn't merely about bringing in a seasoned coach, it was about rebranding the entire identity of the franchise. Carroll, who turned underdogs into Super Bowl contenders in Seattle, is now quietly laying the foundation for one of the most unexpected rebuilds in recent memory, yet few are paying attention. That's exactly how the Raiders want it. In the aftermath of a brutal 2024 season plagued by quarterback instability and offensive apathy, Las Vegas has reset. The offense, once so painful to watch it felt like punishment, is unrecognizable. The depth chart just released tells a new story, one built on purpose, confidence, and potential. Inside the Raiders camp, a bold new energy is building, even as sportsbooks and analysts continue to dismiss their chances. But beneath the surface, there are signs that this team is preparing to do the unthinkable. Geno Smith isn't in Las Vegas to simply manage games. In a recent interview with NFL Network, he offered a rare glimpse into the mindset driving this team. "Let them sleep on us," he said with a calm confidence. "We're working in the shadows right now, getting our game right." It wasn't a soundbite. It was a declaration, one that Raider Nation hasn't heard in years. Smith has come in not just to fill a position, but to reshape the tone of the locker room. Smith and Carroll are far more than just a convenient reunion. They're an experienced pairing that's already proven what they can accomplish together. In Seattle, Smith blossomed into a 4,000-yard passer under Carroll's leadership, developing deep ball accuracy and poise under pressure. Early footage out of Raiders camp shows him dropping pinpoint passes downfield, displaying the kind of command that goes beyond learning a new playbook. He's stepping into ownership of the offense. But the transformation goes deeper than just quarterback play. Chip Kelly has joined the staff in Las Vegas, and he's already proving he's more than just a name from college football lore. With a history of crafting top-tier rushing attacks in the NFL, Kelly brings with him an offensive philosophy designed to exploit mismatches, stress defenses, and maximize versatile talent. Now he has Ashton Gentry, a first-round rookie running back who might be the key to unlocking it all. Gentry has already made waves in camp. He isn't just running the ball, he's motioning into the slot, catching passes from the backfield, and forcing defensive coordinators to account for him as both a runner and receiver. Kelly's schemes thrive on unpredictability, and Gentry fits that mold perfectly. The scrimmages so far have revealed play-action packages that isolate tight end Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer downfield, pulling defenders out of position and creating space that simply didn't exist in last year's offense. There's synergy now between the quarterback's skill set, the running back's versatility, and a system designed to keep defenses guessing. Kelly and Smith have already begun crafting a rhythm, with Smith selling play action and attacking vertically, while Gentry draws attention with motion and screen setups. In recent practices, touchdown throws to Bowers and Mayer weren't accidents. They were built into the fabric of the playbook. This offense isn't just new, it's engineered to be dynamic. The offensive line, a weakness in 2024, has also undergone a reshuffling that speaks volumes. The Raiders are clearly prioritizing chemistry and effectiveness over draft status or name recognition. Jordan Meredith has overtaken Jackson Powers-Johnson at center, forcing the highly touted rookie back to right guard where he'll compete with veteran Alex Kappa. This isn't a minor adjustment, it's a move signaling that the team has identified a five-man group they believe can control the line of scrimmage. On the outside, more surprises are surfacing. Rookie wide route Dante Thornton Jr. has surged up the depth chart, passing Jack Besh to claim the WR2 spot behind the starters. It's rare for a first-year player to leapfrog veterans this quickly, but Thornton's emergence is yet another example of a young player flourishing under the new regime. Even more telling, Ashton Gentry is listed as the backup punt returner, a risky assignment that shows just how much this coaching staff already has in his hands, vision, and awareness. These changes aren't just cosmetic, they're foundational. They suggest that Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and Geno Smith are all building something with intention, not hope. And as the preseason approaches, the rest of the AFC West might want to start paying attention. As intriguing as the offensive transformation is, the defensive side of the ball reveals just how strategic the Raiders have become under this new leadership. The recent release of the depth chart revealed more than just personnel updates. It exposed a front office operating with long-term clarity and a coaching staff willing to make tough, calculated decisions.
Take the wide receiver and special team shuffle for an example. While Dante Thornton Jr. is surging, other names are fading. Tommy Mellott, once projected to compete for return duties, has plummeted to fourth string, and his absence from special teams duties speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Alex Bachman continues to rise, earning valuable first-team reps and carving out a role in a crowded receiver room. Then there's Trey Trucker, who's quietly locked down both the starting punt and kick return jobs. It's clear this staff isn't swayed by hyper-draft pedigree. They're leaning on performance and trust. But one of the most curious and telling moves came in the form of a trade that initially puzzled fans and analysts. The Raiders sent cornerback Jacorian Bennett to Philadelphia in exchange for defensive tackle Thomas Booker. At first glance, it seemed like a lateral move, swapping depth at one position for depth at another. But the more you look at it, the more it makes sense, especially in light of recent injuries. Defensive tackle Leki Fotu, who was expected to step up following Christian Wilkins' departure, arrived at practice wearing a walking boot. That alone put the defensive interior in immediate jeopardy. Enter Booker, a former fourth-rounder who played behind one of the deepest D-line groups in the NFL last year. He saw limited snaps, just 172, but on those reps, he flashed the kind of athleticism that can't be taught. He's quick off the line, shows advanced hand usage, and knows how to beat double teams with movement, not just power. Booker's profile perfectly fits into Pete Carroll's defensive philosophy: gap shooters who disrupt rhythm and penetrate quickly. He may not be a household name yet, but his presence gives the Raiders something they desperately needed: young, untapped upside at a premium position. More telling than any scouting report, though, is the reaction from Eagles fans. Many weren't happy to see him go, a strong indicator of the talent Las Vegas just acquired. Pair Booker with veteran Adam Butler, who's carved out a consistent role as a disruptive pass rusher, and suddenly the Raiders' defensive interior looks not only stable, but potentially dangerous. That's a massive turnaround for a unit that looked paper-thin just weeks ago. The timing of the trade, the injury to Fotu, and Booker's skill set all line up in a way that suggests the Raiders had this move mapped out well in advance. And that's what stands out most about this Raiders resurgence. Nothing seems reactionary. Every personnel decision, every system change, every roster shakeup points toward a coherent long-term strategy. They're not patching holes, they're building a blueprint, one designed to compete in a division where improvisation and firepower have long been the currency. Here's the bold prediction, and it may sound outrageous now, but come January, it might look like foresight. The Las Vegas Raiders will win double-digit games in 2025 and claim a wildcard spot in the AFC. They won't win with flash or hype. They'll win with complexity, balance, and the kind of gritty identity that teams hate to face when it matters most. Their offense will be too nuanced for defenses to crack early in the season. Their defense will create pressure in creative ways, forcing turnovers and limiting explosive plays. And their locker room, led by veterans like Geno Smith and tacticians like Carroll and Kelly, will thrive on being overlooked. The AFC West might be stacked, but the Raiders are no longer the forgotten stepchild in the desert. They're a legitimate threat with a chip on their shoulder, a roster built for both toughness and adaptability, and a coaching staff that's been here before. This is not about hope, it's about execution. And if the early signs are any indication, Las Vegas is ready to remind the league what a real football renaissance looks like. So, what do you think? Will the Raiders defy expectations the way Geno Smith promised? Or are we getting too swept up in the preseason buzz? Let us know your predictions below, especially which rookie you think will have the biggest impact. And stay locked in, because that preseason showdown with Seattle might be the first glimpse of just how real this Raiders revival truly is.